everybody, welcome back to my channel. In case you are new here, my name is Olivia Eve. I am the host of For You From Eve, and if you've never clicked onto my show before, hello, I'm so happy that you have joined us today. Whether you're watching on YouTube or you're listening on Spotify, Apple, whatever it is, I normally don't do video podcasts, trying to get back into it, kind of just trying to test it out for you guys, see how it looks, how it sounds, how you guys respond to it. And I've been doing a lot of YouTube vlogging recently, so I figured this would also be a good direction to go in. So I'm very excited to chat with you guys today. I've been getting into that YouTube game, being in the social media game, and I'm excited to just talk to you guys about the stuff we're gonna be talking about today. I know exactly why you clicked onto this episode. We're gonna be talking about the ick, avoidant attachment style. What does it mean to be avoidant? I have my notes in front of me here, so if you're watching the YouTube version, you're like, why does she keep looking at her computer or in front of her? It's because I have my computer in front of me and I always like to plan out my episodes and just jot down a few things that I want to bring up in the topic of today's episode. So I always like to look and just make sure I don't miss any points and I explain everything super clearly. But in case you are new here and you haven't listened to my show before, you don't know what to expect, we talk all things self-love, self-growth, self-improvement. My podcast is basically just a safe space of being on FaceTime with your best friend or with your older sister. That's why I started this show. I wanted you guys to be able to get advice from somebody from a safe space and just, you know, we talk about things going on in our life here. We talk about the big things, the little things, and we also just kind of talk about girl talk, just good girl talk, whether you're having a boy issue or a self-esteem issue or a problem with work or a problem with school. I do a little series also called Girl Talk and Diving into the DMs where I basically will do a very short little segment or kind of a shorter episode and I'll go through all of your DMs or I'll ask you guys on my Instagram to answer question polls. So if you're ever interested in having me answer your advice and having us talk about it, I think that would be really great. The weather has been getting so much nicer in the New Jersey and New York area, so I've been really happy about that. We have the sun coming in. I don't have to put on studio light for this video. I'm just using the pure sunlight and it's not even facing from the window directly. So if the lighting isn't great, I'll obviously, when I watch it over, edit it, but I did get a brand new camera, so I'm hoping that the editing isn't too bad. I have been extremely busy recently. If you guys don't know what I do besides the podcast, I also am a freelance social media worker, so I manage a ton of social media clients, and then I also will do my own social media, and I actually just signed with Creator Society, which is so exciting. So I will be working with them for my social media. I just brought on a YouTube editor, so I've been posting vlogs, and then I've been doing my own social media thing. I'm always looking for some social media help. So if you are in college and you are looking for some more experience in the social media space, my DMs are always open. I have gotten a few people reach out to me to help with social media, and I will never I'll try my best to not decline somebody. It's not that I want to decline you, it's just I might not have a role to fill at the time, but I'm always looking for some extra help for anyone who wants some experience and to put some things on their resume. I always want to help out because I know when I was in college, I always just wanted to do things for the experience. But without further ado, I don't want to yap. I want to get into this episode. But before we get into this episode, I want to talk about something a little controversial. I guess we can call it controversial. I'm not very controversial. I don't get into beef. I don't, none of that stuff. I'm really not a part of that. I feel like it's just because my community is not in that space, but also I'm not like relevant enough to be in that space. I don't know if relevant's the right word, but I know that there's been this whole controversy recently about New York City influencers being completely dragged to the ground. And obviously I know I'm not under that category. I'm not here to defend, no, I know I'm not in that category at all. However, it's been all over my For You page, and I declare myself as a podcaster before I declare myself as an influencer. Like, I'm a podcaster first and I'm an influencer second. I love the social media space, but I'm a podcaster. I have a podcast. That's what I do. So guys, my eye keeps twitching. I don't know if you guys are watching the video, you probably see me keep touching my eye. I don't know. Doesn't that mean like someone's talking about you or something? Like, doesn't that like have a meaning? I don't know. Anyways, my point is there's been all this talk about the influencers and just all this negative lash on it, and I actually got tagged in a few things this week where there was like these hate videos about New York City influencers. Like, basically these girls were making fun of other influencers wearing like an aloe set and a fanny pack, and they were talking like really bratty, and they were basically trying to like impersonate New York, I guess New Jersey too, I don't know, New York influencers. And I got tagged in a few of them, and some girls were like, this is literally what your podcast sounds like. And I was like, wait, why am I being dragged into this? I was like, first of all, I'm honored that you think I'm a New York City influencer, because I live in a little town in New Jersey and have like 46,000 TikTok followers, but thank you so much. Like, I didn't even consider myself to be a New York City influencer, but I also just thought it was funny that, I don't know, that people, I don't know. I mean, obviously my podcast is gonna get like hate from some people, but it's also just like, I am sorry if I do yap about things that I shouldn't yap about. Like, it's been 5 minutes right now and we haven't gotten to the topic of the episode. And I know for some of you that's really annoying, but then I also know for some of you, you like to know about updates going on in my life. I feel like I know for me, I like to know what my podcaster does, like what kind of schedule are they balancing? How do they manage their time? Like, I like to share what's on my plate as in the freelance social media and the social media agency and my podcast, because I think it's cool and interesting to know that I have so many things going on and I'm still able to remain consistent and put out work for you guys. So that's why I do what I do. But just wanted to kind of share that. I think that everyone should just stop the hating on influencers. I'm not even saying for myself, because I still don't think I'm like declared a big influencer, but I'm just saying just for other influencers, and we should all just be nice to all the girls out there, because that's ridiculous. And I would love to have, I know like Acquired Style was getting it pretty bad, but I would love to have her on the show and just talk about all the backlash she's been getting. If that's something you guys would be interested in, let me know. Like, I personally really love her content and I would like to hear her perspective on everything. But I don't know, you guys let me know if that's a field you want me to get into, or like people you want me to interview. If not, I'll stay out of it and I'll just do what you guys want, but let me know. Anyways, I'm gonna shut up now. We're gonna get into the episode. Do you have the ick, or do you have avoidant attachment? What is avoidant attachment? Do I have it? What is the ick? Let's talk about the ick. Do you actually have the ick, right? Let's, like, in case you're listening to this and you don't know what the ick is basically when you are dating somebody or you're seeing somebody, right? I don't think you're like usually officially dating them yet. Let's say you start seeing somebody, you're going on a few dates with this new guy and he does something very icky. Like, he like trips when he's walking out of his car, or he has like spinach in the middle of his teeth while he's talking, or what else? Like, you see him with his guy friends and he's clearly like the one left out, or, you know, there's like so many little like icks that like there's funny ones where it's like you're playing beer pong and you have to see him like chase the ball and like bend down to grab, like little things like that, or like icky stuff. And it's like, I feel like the ick has become such like a big broad term now, and it's something that was trending on social media, and guys were saying their icks about girls and girls were saying their icks about guys. There was more guy icks than girl icks, and it's just like one of those things where it would be as simple as like a guy eating yogurt was an ick, or, you know, whatever it was. So basically the ick is getting a little bit like, ooh, like, brother, ew, like whatever, when you see a guy doing something and your feelings for him start to diminish. Like, your feelings for him actually start to like pull back because you see him do this thing. Now, first of all, I wanted to say it's very normal if you just don't like somebody and you get the ick. Like, if you get the ick and you just don't like somebody, you just don't like that person and what they did is funny. Like, I'm not diminishing the word ick. I do think it's still very possible to have the ick from some people you don't like. However, I think that if you are seeing the ick in everybody that you see, that you date, that you hang out with, that is interested in you, now you need to look at yourself and you need to realize that you are looking for the ick. And I heard this example once from a podcast. I forgot what podcast it was, but it was two men, and one man asked the other man, he said, I want you to look around the room and look at everything that's red. Okay, count how many red things you see. So the guy looked around, he said, okay, I saw 4 red things. And the guy said, okay, how many blue things did you see? And the guy goes, I don't know, I wasn't looking for blue. And he goes, exactly, you only see and find what you're looking for. So if you are looking for something wrong in somebody, you are going to find something wrong in somebody, because everybody has flaws. Everybody has their own icks, right? Everybody has, you know, a personality trait or a characteristic that's not their greatest, that they're probably not the proudest of, etc. So everybody has that, and then some people are just goofy and it's easier for them to be like a little bit corny and whatever. So basically, I recently have been noticing from people that I know and what I see on the internet and all this stuff that the ick really is just an easy way out of letting somebody down, or an easy way out to admit to yourself that you just don't have feelings for this person, when really you're not letting yourself have feelings for this person. You are not allowing yourself to be attached to this person. So even though it's totally okay to just not like a guy and just not be into a guy, I think a lot of the time we stop ourselves from liking a guy by developing this universal ick, whatever it is. You sit there on the date and you are looking for the ick. Over time, you're looking for the ick. You are hoping he does something wrong. And we might not understand why. We might not understand why we do this. And that's why we're going to talk about this today. We are going to get to it today. Something I think too is, I know for myself, I was at a stage of life at one point where I didn't want to date. Like, I wasn't interested in dating. I was very scared to be in a relationship. And because I was scared to be in a relationship, I found an ick in every single guy that showed interest in me, that would talk to me, that I would hang out with, go out with, whatever it was. I always found an ick. And I'd be like, what is wrong with all these guys in the pool? There was nothing wrong. I mean, not that there was nothing wrong with the guys, but there was just something wrong with me. It's just that I didn't want anything. So because I didn't want anything, I was kind of reflecting that into the men that were in front of me, and I was finding those icks because I didn't want that person. Now, when I met my current partner that I'm with right now, he would do things that were maybe, if he's listening to this is very funny. He would do things that were maybe typically icky. Like, he would maybe make a joke that like wasn't funny, or like say something goofy, or do something goofy, or like trip, or do something clumsy, where if a guy you didn't like would do, you'd be like, oh, I have the ick. But because it was a guy that I really liked and I didn't get the ick, it was kind of a realization for me. You know when like you're seeing somebody and they do something that you would normally hate, but then you love it and you're like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. Like, if I like this thing that I usually hate, like I have a best friend, she hates affection. She's always hated affection. She's hated like mushy, like baby name talk, like all that. And then she fell in love with somebody and now she loves all those things. And when she started to like those things with this new guy, she was like, wait, I'm in trouble. Like, cause I actually like these things now, and she didn't like them before. So when you don't get the ick for somebody, it kind of puts you in a realization of, oh shit, maybe I actually like this person. And then we become fearful because now we really have to dig deeper to not like this person anymore. We have to dig deeper to detach ourselves from it. So I think the ick is just a big universal thing of you being, you know, having that mindset of avoidant attachment. Now let's talk a little bit about what avoidant attachment is. So avoidant attachment is basically you're not allowing yourself to be attached to somebody. You're not allowing yourself to fall in love with somebody, to fully give your heart to somebody, and you don't want them to do it back to you. The second someone starts to get close to you, you start to feel suffocated. So you start to feel like the second you and someone start to like share secrets and get close and hang out more and spend a lot of time together, you feel suffocated and you feel like you just want to like rip them away. Now, when you feel suffocated, what are you going to do when you feel suffocated? You're going to self-sabotage. You are going to self-sabotage so that whatever is suffocating you is now out of the picture. So you kind of need to think about it where in a way of, this isn't something you want to feel. You could be the biggest hopeless romantic and still be avoidant. Like, that's how it is. It's such a weird thing. It's you want these things, but you've never had them, so you don't think you're capable of having them. And the second you're about to have them, you destroy whatever it is, because if you do get it, you're more scared to lose it. You'd rather never have it at all than have it and lose it because you've never had it in the past. So that's why I say the avoidant adult is the child that didn't get to talk about their feelings or didn't see healthy communication, which we're going to get into. But you basically don't want certain things. Now, when I say you don't want certain things, you want them, you wish you wanted them. You wish you were soft. You wish you were more feminine. You wish you were more emotional. There's, you know, women out there that have this very tough exterior and they're very, oh yeah, I don't go on date with men. Like, I don't really like men. I don't give men my time. I don't, you know, all these things. And they go into this very like kind of masculine mindset of, I don't need anybody. I don't need this man. I don't need that man. Like, I'm good on my own. Like, they're lucky to have me, which don't get me wrong, confidence is great. Being a high value woman is great. But it gets to a point where a woman will lose all her femininity, I think that's how you say it, and all her kind of softness. And she'll lose her softness because the world made her hard. And when a woman loses her softness, she's gonna do everything in her power to prove that hard exterior. Now, even though a woman is proving her hard exterior, she sees a soft woman and wishes that she could still be that soft woman, but the world made her feel like she couldn't be. So you might have grown up in an environment, this could go for men or women, grown up in an environment where you couldn't talk to your parents about the way you felt, or your parents didn't talk to each other or communicate. Like, instead of communicating, your parents would fight, or one of your parents would leave, or whatever it was. And when you were upset about things, maybe your siblings or your parents or anyone in your family made you feel like you couldn't be upset, that emotions were a fraud. And I come from a very foreign background, so this isn't unusual in a foreign household. I mean, it wasn't really my reality. I would definitely say I'm not vocal with the way that I feel about people, but I've always been vocal with my partner. I think it's because even though I didn't have that relationship with my parents where I would never sit with my parents and say, hey, I'm upset about this ever in my life. But I saw my parents communicate, and I think because I saw my parents communicate, I grew up knowing it was okay to communicate with my partner. So me and my partner communicate in a very healthy way. Like, thank God we have a very healthy relationship. We communicate everything. But if you are somebody that you struggle with that, right? Here are a few reasons as to why you're probably struggling and why you're not wanting to feel certain things. One, you're scared to like them. You're scared to actually fall for somebody, get attached to somebody. You're scared for those feelings to develop. So you'd rather just kind of cut it off, sabotage it, and let yourself be, because it's better than having feelings. Because when you have feelings for somebody, it's scary. Like, it's scary to not get the ick and to have feelings for somebody. So you're going to destroy it in another way. Two, you're scared that they're going to like you and that you're not going to like them. So you might meet a really great person and they have no flaw, just that you don't like them. And now you might be scared and you might building up all these walls to protect them from you, because you think that you're this like monster and you're gonna break their heart and you're this like horrible thing, you're a damaged thing. That's what you think about yourself. I feel like whoever's listening to this, that's how you're thinking. I'm getting like a little like signal, like there's a girl out there on the other side of this screen that is thinking, I'm a monster, I'm gonna destroy this person. If you have the mindset of, I'm gonna destroy this person, I gotta protect these men from me. If that's the mindset that you have, you need to realize that you are soft and you were a lot of things before the world changed you. And if you just go back to who you were before the world told you who you should be, and you work on healing that part of you, I promise you will no longer feel like you are a monster that needs help before you get into a relationship. I promise there is a better side for you out there. So you're probably just scared that, one, you're not gonna like them, two, that you are gonna like them, three, that they're not gonna like you, or four, that they are gonna like you. Because those are that just means that there's room for feeling and there's room for hurt. And a lot of the time when there's room for hurt, we would rather take a step back than allow hurt to enter the room with us. So those are some things that you probably are afraid of, and that's why you're developing the ick, or you are self-sabotaging, or whatever it might be, and you're avoiding jumping into those feelings. I made a list of what it means to have an avoidant attachment mindset. We talked a little bit about it, but I want to kind of go through a list of some things that you might be thinking in your head if you have this type of attachment mindset. One, you want love, but signs of it make you panic. So I've always been a very hopeless romantic. I've always loved love. I'm not avoidantly attached. I'm the opposite. Isn't it like anxious attachment? I'm that. Whatever the hell the opposite of avoidant is me, because I'm not avoidant at all. I'm like love, love, love. Like, I love love. I love the relationship with my partner. I did not struggle. I had my walls closed a little bit in the beginning, just a little bit of, let me keep my walls a little bit high because I was a little bit scared, but it easily broke down because of who he was and who we were together. But one, you want love, but any real sign of it makes you panic. So you might be at a stage where all of your friends are gushy and mushy and in love and want relationships, and you might wish you wanted love, because the thought of being in love makes you panic and it freaks you out, but you wish that you didn't feel that way. So deep down you want love, because if you didn't want love, then you wouldn't panic, right? You would just be like, I don't want love, and you're good, right? But if you want love and you want a relationship, then you're gonna panic, because you're gonna say, how come I don't know how to want love? Like, how come I don't know how to want love? How come I don't know how to be a hopeless romantic? I know I feel these things and I want these things, and when I see them, I long for them, but how come I don't have what it takes to embody them? It could make you panic because you know you want it, but you don't understand why your mind, body, and heart are not acting on wanting it. And it's gonna be difficult for you to realize, how do I break down these walls? How do I break down the walls of the separation of wanting love and actually acting like I want love? Because I know for me as well, I went through a period where I was always a hopeless romantic, and then shit happens and you're not a hopeless romantic anymore, and you get a little bit realistic and you realize, like, wait, love is not that easy, and love is actually difficult, and you can get your heart broken. And after my first heartbreak, which I think everyone's first heartbreak teaches them a lot, but after my first heartbreak, I was very kind of like the opposite of what I was. I tried to be the opposite of like a lover girl. Like, I tried to be, let me get to know people and let me be single and let me be a villain and whatever. And I tried, but that deep rooted, like, I wanted love. Like, I wanted to be a wife. I want to be a mother. Like, those are my deep, that's like my core. To my core, that's who I want to be and who I am and what I think I was. I think I was put on this earth to be a wife and a mother. So to my core, even though I tried to erase that for a little bit because wanting that in the past hurt me, I tried to kind of jump over that and be something completely different. And so even though deep down to my core, that's what I still wanted, was that love, it was so hidden because I was trying so hard to protect myself. So I put on this large exterior of, no, I like to go out, I like to get to know people, I like to be single, I like to just focus on the gym. I completely buried that part of me that wanted love so badly that it was hard for me to even dig it up and find it. And you might be at that point because maybe you got your heart broken, or maybe you're used to disappointment. And I would be jealous of my friends that were still optimistic about love because I couldn't be anymore. And I don't know if you guys watch Sex and the City, but Charlotte from Sex and the City, she would get burned and burned and burned, but she never gave up on love. And that was like her thing. She never gave up on it no matter what. Even when she got married and had to get divorced and this happened and that happened, she never gave up on love. She was always hopeful about love. And I wanted to keep being hopeful about love until love found its way back to me. So you might push that side of you down so badly, but if you want it, you're going to get it one day. And that part of you will be revealed to you again, because I went through the same thing. And it's okay to go through it. It's okay to go through a period because maybe you're just not ready. And I knew that I wasn't ready for a little bit. I knew that I had parts of me that I needed to heal. I needed to bring back that part of me, that soft part of me, that feminine part of me. I needed to bring her back. And so I knew that's what I wanted because that's who I was to my core. It took me some time to kind of heal myself to be ready for it again. And God won't give you the right person until you're ready, and you will take those steps with them. Another way to know that you have avoidant attachment style is that you are purposely finding flaws in people to prove yourself that they are bad for you. Kind of going back to the ick theory, that the ick is probably lying to you. The ick is just a way for you to avoid your feelings. It's a way for you to avoid your emotions. It's a way for you to avoid the possibility of being hurt. You're going to find flaws in people no matter what, whether it's a new friend or it's a relationship. You're going to try to find flaws because you don't want to get burned. And that just makes sense. It just makes sense to self-sabotage. Just, if nothing good has ever came from telling someone how you feel, why would you want to keep doing it? Like, why? If you have the same business idea for 20 years and it keeps failing, why would you want to keep doing it? If you have a crush on the same person for 20 years and they don't reciprocate it, why would you keep chasing them? It's one of those things where you're going to self-sabotage because you don't have the mindset of, what if I'm one away? What if I'm one business project away from being a millionaire with all these connections? What if I'm one date away from finding the love of my life? I'm one podcast episode away from going viral. You know, you don't have the what if I'm one away theory in your mind yet. I engraved that in my mind, especially with social media and podcasting, because you guys, my TikTok especially, I think everyone's kind of relating to the TikTok flop right now, but my TikTok recently has been a flop. And because it's been a flop, I wake up each morning being like, I don't want to post on TikTok today. Like, I don't want to post on TikTok. I don't want to make my video, but I'll still do it because I'll say, what if I'm one away? What if I'm one away? And it's just instilled in my brain. So I was just one of those people that even though something wouldn't work out, I'd always just keep trying to go a different direction with it because I always thought that I was one away. So another thing is, in finding the flaws, you're always contemplating an exit strategy. You're always trying to find a way out. So if you can't find a little ick, you're going to try to find a big thing, or you're going to try to find something within yourself. You're going to say, I'm actually not ready for this because XYZ. You're always going to have an exit strategy. You go into it already thinking it's going to go wrong somehow. You go into it thinking, yeah, everything's going great, but blah, 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 so it probably won't work out. That's how we go into things. Why? Because how embarrassing is it when you go to your best friends and you say, he's the one, he's so great, and then he ghosts you. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I've been in situations where me and my best friends have been like, he's the one, after like 1 date, 2 dates, 3 dates, and then it's like 4th and 5th date and he like will ghost you, or he'll start going dry and you're like, yep, it happened again, like it didn't work out again. So you just feel stupid. Like, I know with my current partner, I was very careful with it, and I would be excited kind of to myself. Like, I would take Snapchats of like, I'm going on my first date, like vlog it for myself, but I wasn't vocal about my current partner like how I used to be in the past, because for some reason I was kind of trying to protect it a little bit. And I was kind of just like, I don't even know if I told all my friends that I was going on a date until literally a day before. I think I was like, I'm going on this date tomorrow. And it was like a big deal because I hadn't gone on dates. And it was like, yeah, I'm going on this date tomorrow. And they were like, wait, what? Like, you would tell us about this? I was like, yeah, I'm texting him for like 10 days. And they were like, what? So it's just like, I kind of kept some things low key because I felt like if I vocally talked about it, I would be embarrassed, because I was embarrassed in the past. I think we've all been embarrassed, right? I quote embarrassed because there's nothing wrong with showing your feelings and liking somebody, but I think that we want to self-sabotage and find an exit strategy and belittle things because we don't want to embarrass ourselves in front of our friends. We don't want to act like everything's great and something goes wrong and we're like, oh shit, now I gotta tell my friends that we ended. And it's like, it's embarrassing, it's annoying. It's like, it's just a repetitive pattern and it's annoying, and I get it. Trust me, we have all been there. I understand your pain. I am so grateful that I'm where I am now, but I promise you that you will get there as well. And I know how annoying it is to hear from the person in a healthy, trust me, when my best friend who was in a healthy relationship was giving me advice while I was at my lowest, I was like, shut the, I was like, please. I was like, you don't get it. And she was like, no, we've all been at our lowest. Like, it happens for you. And I promise you, until it happens to you, you will not understand that it's out there. It's the best thing in the world. And until you get it, until you're at a place where you don't need an exit strategy and you don't need to find a flaw, you're not going to understand it. But I promise you it's coming for you. Just work on yourself until you don't feel these things anymore. Another thing, even when you really like somebody, you will still self-sabotage. So yeah, kind of like what I was saying, even though you really like someone, you're still going to find a flaw in them, in you, or what you guys would be together, because it's easier that way. Another thing, you would always rather dismiss your feelings and disconnect than speak about your emotions. Now speak about your emotions. Say that again, speak about your emotions. Do you struggle with this? I want you to ask yourself, do I struggle with speaking my emotions? Do I struggle with talking my feelings? Me, I don't shut the up. Like, I am very good at communication. Like, my partner and I, when I'm upset about something, I'll say it. There are definitely days where I don't want to talk about what I'm upset about, and I kind of just want to avoid the situation I'm upset about. Like, let's say there's something going on in our relationship or in my life that's affecting me, and it's affecting our relationship a little bit because it's affecting me, right? And I don't want to talk about it for whatever reason. And I'm just in a bad mood all day. And he's like, what's wrong? You're in a bad mood. And I'm like, no, it's fine. Like, whatever. You know, it's like one of those things. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm very good at communicating, but sometimes you still have days where you just don't want to talk about how you're feeling. And I think for me, it stems from, well, if I bring this up, he might get mad because this has made people mad in the past, right? You need to detach your past from your present. Your present partner is not any of your past partners, and they do not deserve to pay for what your past partners did to you. They do not deserve to fix something that they did not break. Now hear me out, because I know you could say, well, my boyfriend saved me and my ex. Listen, your ex cheated on you, let's say, right? Let's say your ex cheated on you. You are not allowed to have trust issues going into a new relationship. You need to heal whatever it is that you need to heal, whatever that cheating brought onto you, insecurity, self-consciousness, comparing yourself, all that stuff. You need to heal that before you get into a relationship. Now, let's say you heal that, right? You think you healed that. Now you get into a relationship and your boyfriend says, I'm going on a bachelor trip, like whatever. Or you see something on his phone that you don't love, and all of a sudden you get kind of like PTSD. You're like, oh my God, like I've had this feeling before. Like, I've had this feeling with my ex and he was cheating on me and I was right, and I have to confront the situation. This is what you're gonna do, okay? Because it's gonna be normal to feel these things. It's gonna be so normal to think things because of your past. Everyone's going to think things, compare things. It's just normal. Me and my boyfriend are very good at communicating, like not comparisons, but comparisons in a positive way. Like, wow, I do this with you. I've never done it with someone before, and I'm so happy you make me feel this way. My boyfriend right now, and this isn't me exposing him, nothing, when we first started dating, who he said he was and who he said he has always been was something I was very terrified of. And I was like, oh my God, like this is going to be a challenge for me. And I don't want a challenge. Like, I'm 23. I was 23 when I met him. I'm going to be 25 this summer, but I was like, I don't want a friggin' challenge. Like, I don't want a challenge. Like, I was like, I just want a man who is going to be good at communicating with me, who's going to be my peace, who's not going to get mad at me. And my boyfriend was telling me, like, he's not good at communicating, not good at showing feelings, not good at showing emotions. He kind of has like an I don't care mindset. And I remember just thinking like, oh, this is not going to work for me, because like I can't be with someone like that, because I'm like not chill. Like, I'm not like a chill girl that just goes with, I'm not. Like, one of my good friends, she's chill. I'm not. Like, I'm not chill. I'm not psycho. Like, I'm not going to go through like your phone. I'm not going to question you on a bunch of things. I'm not going to like, none of that. Like, I'm not ever psychotic with like past partners or current girls that are like, I'm not psycho, but I'm not chill either. So like, if like, for example, like my boyfriend was acting a certain way, I wouldn't just be like, yeah, whatever. Like, no. Why are you acting this way? Talk to me right now. Why are you acting this way? What happened? Did something trigger it? Whatever. Anyways, so when my boyfriend and I first met, he kind of told me that, he kind of explained that he had avoidant attachment. Like, he kind of explained that he wasn't great at communicating his feelings and his emotions. He comes from a very foreign, you know, men are not supposed to show emotions type of like background. And I remember just thinking like, oh, this is gonna be a challenge. I don't want a challenge. And we got into like an argument a few weeks like after that, like maybe a week or two after that conversation, and the way he handled it, I was like, you are not that guy you said you were. And he was like, yeah, honestly, I'm kind of surprised that with you, I'm able to communicate these things nicely. Like, we don't curse at each other. We don't yell at each other. We don't get angry with each other. We sit there and we talk about it. Obviously, we get mad about things and maybe I'll catch an attitude or he'll raise his voice or whatever it is, but we sit there and we communicate. Not one of us doesn't storm off and start crying. One of us doesn't start cursing the other off. Like, there's none of that exchange between the two of us. And it's just knowing that someone who maybe had avoidant attachment in the past or wasn't good at showing their emotions in the past can now sit and do that. It just also proves that you're with the right person that makes you feel safe enough, because this is now separating my current relationship. I'm just kind of talking now, but you probably have this mindset of avoiding attachment and this mindset of not being able to show your emotions because that's how you were raised. You were probably raised as a child who wasn't allowed to show their emotions or their feelings, or it was never any soft love or soft parenting. Everything was kind of tough and hard and strict. So you grew up having that tough exterior. That inner child of you that wasn't allowed to feel these soft emotions got too buried deep that you can't find them anymore. And sometimes you're going to be with somebody that brings out that inner child, that makes that inner child feel safe and feel safe in their emotions and feelings. So you might think like, I'm screwed. I'm never gonna get out of this avoidant attachment. You will. You just need to find the person that's worth digging up that past version of yourself for. And it will take time. Like, there was times in my relationship where I'd be like, hey, like, I don't want to bring this up, but I'm going to bring it up. And I'm not comparing you to my past, but my past was XYZ and this situation is going on. And I just need to tell you, like, I don't think you're doing these things, but I need to talk to you about this because blah, blah, blah. And your partner should be understanding enough to be like, look, they're going to respect themselves enough and say, don't compare me to anybody you've been with in the past, but I'll sit here and I'll give you that reassurance if that's what you need. But it's also going to get to a point where your partner's going to say, okay, I'm not giving you any more reassurance. This is who I am. This is who you fell in love with. This is our relationship. We got to move on from this. So I think that it's very okay to go into relationships with that avoidant attachment because that's what you had in the past and that's what you felt and that's what you dealt with, and that part of you might be dug up. But you also need to focus on healing that part of yourself before dragging somebody else into it, because you don't want it to affect your relationship. You don't want the person you love to think you're damaged. You don't want them to think that they have to fix you or heal you. I promise you, you don't. And if you do, then you're not ready for a serious relationship, because in the past I've wanted to be, I'm damaged and I'm broken and I need someone to fix me and help me. Oh my God. No, that was me just needing attention and needing to fix parts of myself that I didn't notice yet. So the adult who is avoidant is the child who couldn't express their emotions. So if you were that child, if you were that teenager, and maybe you grew up expressing those emotions, maybe you didn't have a tough childhood expressing your emotions, but once you started expressing it, you would get rejected or something would happen. So now you don't anymore. And maybe you started becoming avoidant in your 20s or your 30s, who knows? But whatever it is that you started becoming avoidant from, you need to heal from. You need to heal from, and you need to move forward with your partner in that. You need to cancel out the ick, because the ick is lying to you, okay? You are just avoidant. You are being avoidant to getting feelings, because that means the possibility of getting hurt. You're not ready to put yourself out there. And if you're not ready to put yourself out there, that's okay. That's okay. But don't force it. Don't go on dates for no reason. You know, like, it's fun to go on dates and get to know someone and have a dinner and it's nice. But don't get so in your head about these things, because if you do, you're going to end up hurting yourself more and more. You're going to think you're more damaged than you actually are. You're not damaged. You just need a little bit of self-healing and a little bit of self-growth and self-improvement. It's as simple as getting on a good sleeping schedule, waking up early, journaling, praying, pray, making a vision board, listening to podcasts, reading books, cooking, finding hobbies that bring out your feminine side, wearing colors that make you feel happy. And there's just so much for you, and the right person is going to help you break down that wall, because maybe you only broke it down 50% and the other 50% is from your future partner. That is how I'm going to close off this topic. I honestly loved talking about this with you guys. I think that it's going to be very relatable to a lot of you, whether you're dating somebody with avoidant attachment or you are somebody with avoidant attachment. I think that it will be very helpful to kind of just hear that you're normal. There's nothing wrong with you if you are this way. Like, this is very normal for people to feel this. And I like talking to you guys about these deep girl talk topics. So please, to support my show, make sure that you listen to my ads all the way through, follow and download my podcast episodes, follow me on all my social medias linked down below. You guys mean the world to me. Your support seriously is everything. And I'm really excited for all the new things that we have coming up, and I'm just so grateful for each and every one of you, and I will talk to you guys next week. Let me know how you like these videos compared to audios. Always give me your feedback on what it is that you like, and please follow my socials and listen to my ads. You guys, when you listen to my ads, it helps the show so much, and the more you help the show, the more you help me, which means the more I can help you. So many exciting things coming, and I'm so excited for you guys to be a part of it. So I'll talk to you guys next week. Mwah.